Yo, check it out. Thanks again for checking out the podcast. This is another edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm your host, 12 Kyle. Then again, you probably already know that by now. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. You can find the 12 Kyle podcast on iTunes. Go to iTunes, search 12 Kyle podcast and subscribe there. You can also find it on Stitcher Radio. If you have an Android or iPhone, download the Stitcher application for free. Search the 12 Kyle podcast, upload it, and listen at your leisure, at home or on the go. And you can also find the podcast right here on SoundCloud. Go to soundcloud.com/12-Kyle. All right. Now, here's what I want to talk about today. I know sometimes we get into these debates or sometimes we get into conversations, and people here over the last few years, it's really been really prevalent. People will throw out the word hate. I mean, it's really kind of mind-boggling if you think about it, because and I can only tell you just from my personal experience. Like, when I was coming up, when I was a little dude, like my parents and my elders, they always told me like hate is never a word that you should use. Like, I mean, like that was in my era, hate, the word hate would be almost the equivalent of cursing, right? Because you couldn't hate anybody. And I remember my mom kind of explaining to me one day, like, look, you don't hate anybody. And I remember saying, oh man, I hate Susan. My mom was like, no, you don't hate anybody, because having a parent or having parents that came through the civil rights era, they understood what real hate was. You know, that Jim Crow hate, that, my mom grew up in the South type hate, so hate wasn't a word that I was able, really, I could not use. I couldn't use the word hate. So in my house, using the word hate, it's almost like cursing, to be honest. So I learned very quickly that, I couldn't use the word hate. So, but obviously the word hate and then the context in which it's being used has changed over the years. Fast forward you to 2016. It has really come to my attention that nowadays, if you don't agree with something or someone, then you're hating. You're just a hater. Which is funny to me, because last time I checked, we all have our own opinions. Or at least that's the way it's supposed to be, right? And it always takes me back to this line in a Common song where he says, I think it was 6 Sense on the Like Water for Chocolate album. He said, if I don't like it, I don't like it. That don't mean that I'm hating, And I kind of agree with that line. If I don't like something, I just don't like it. Like, and I don't necessarily have to have a particular reason why I don't like it. If I don't like it, if you have on a blue shirt and I don't like blue shirts, if I don't like your blue shirt, and if you ask me, now I'm not going to go out of my way to tell you about your blue shirt, but if you ask me if I like your blue shirt, I'm probably going to tell you, nah, I ain't feeling your little blue shirt, bro. I'm just not, so, but at the end of the day, that's not hate. I just dislike it for whatever reason. And, I don't know, man. It's really, I think it's really gone too far. I mean, like, everything is just, you're a hater. You're a hater. You're a hater. I mean, no, you're not a hater. Now, granted, there are some people who will dislike something or dislike someone and have no substantial reason for, backing it up, or can't back it up, or even can make any type of logical, like, if it's something I don't like, I can logically tell you why I don't like it. I'm not just going to say, well, I don't like it, So even the example about the blue shirt, I could tell you why I don't like your blue shirt, and we can go from there. But there are situations where people talk and they will tell you that they don't like something or they hate something, and they really could come off as being a hater. That's not my style. But I will say this much. I'm kind of growing tired of the whole notion of you're a hater, and it's not someone saying that to me. I'm just saying that using the word hate. I think every year we roll into a new year and people say, well, we should retire this word. I mean, like, I thought hater or hating or hate was retired a long time ago. If it wasn't, it should have been. I mean, here's the thing too. You gotta keep in mind, I'm on social media. Many of you who are listening are on social media. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat. Damn, did I leave one out? I mean, it's so many. Blogs, Blogger. What that does, what those vehicles do, is that they give you a platform. As many of you know, I have a blog, and my blog actually started all of what I have as far as social media is concerned. And I never in 1,000 years that I think that my blog would evolve into, the 12 Kyle podcast. But it's given me a platform. And it's a platform that I don't necessarily take lightly. I understand that, the things that I say, the things that I do, have ramifications. And I also understand too, and I never really take this lightly, but I understand that there are people, many of whom that I don't know personally, they hang on to every word that I say. And to me, that's bugged out, because it's like, if I send a tweet, I'm sending a tweet because that's a thought. If I post a blog, that's a thought. It's not, I don't necessarily need it to be scrutinized, but, to some degree it can be, if depending on the subject or the topic. But I think we're all like that. I don't know that you necessarily have to have a radio show or have a podcast or have a blog or have 100,000 followers for it. There will always be someone that will hang on to your every word. So you have to choose your words wisely. You can't just say, well, I'm going to say whatever I feel, I don't care. No, everything has ramifications. Getting back to the hate, I think the thing is that when you look at social media, you realize that it's a platform. And depending on how someone chooses to use that platform, you open yourself up to criticism, so you could say something and again, it could be construed as hate, or it could be spun as hate. It just depends on, whoever is trying to spin whatever it is you're saying. I said all that to say this. When you make a statement, when you say something or whatever, people can label you as hater or hating or whatever, but maybe sometimes you just don't like something. I would like to see us stop hating, period. Or stop using the word hate, man, because it's like, it's bugged out to me, because here's the thing. I don't care if you don't even like me. I really don't, because I think I've got a few people that do like me. But if you don't like me, if you don't like this podcast, if you don't like my shows, or anything, you don't like my crew, I really don't care. I'm really not going to lose any sleep over nobody not liking me. Fortunately for me, a lot of people do like me. But that being said, I think it's okay. Like, there are people in this world, especially, and they will use social media as a platform to, bash people or to get online and say whatever, or whatever the case may be. And yes, some of it is filled with hate. And I don't mean the player hate. I don't mean the hating it, which I'm talking about the hate that I grew up on. They just, a perfect example. Our president, Barack Obama. Love President Obama. But there are people in this country people in this world, people in your town, people at your job that hate him. I mean, like literally hate him. But much like me, I'm pretty sure President Obama sleeps very well at night. Not really worried about anybody hating him. And then there's some of the people that he tried to work with as far as Congress is concerned, that, have the 2016 level of hate. They don't, they don't want to see him succeed or what have you. So they channel their energies in a different direction. And I'm not going to get anything political, but I'm just using him as an example. So there's hating. I mean, there's hating all around. And I think it's 2016, man. I mean, like, we really should stop hating. We should stop using the word hate. I mean, again, perfect example. I'll use myself as an example. If I do a podcast and you don't like something that I say in the podcast, cool. You can even tell me you don't like it. One thing I won't do, I won't get into an argument with you about something that I feel. You know what I mean? I mean, like, nobody can tell me how I should feel about something, because these are my thoughts. I got a lot of great feedback about the Not Top 5 podcast I did a couple weeks ago. No hate, nobody hated, but when I talked about, some of the MCs that I didn't want to put in my top 5, there were a couple of comments on Twitter. People, oh man, you hating? No, I'm not hating. But again, I'm not going to. I think I did a 40-minute podcast. I did enough time to tell you why I didn't think someone's in my top 5. And if you agree or disagree, that's fine with you. But it's not hating. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's cool. I think we need to get back to that. I think we need to get back to, what, I don't like that, or I don't like him, or I don't like her. But the hate, I mean, just stop hating, man. Let's just stop the hate, man. Let's stop using the word hate. It's mind-boggling to me, how much and how far this has gone. I think ultimately, it lies within the individual. But I wouldn't spend a lot of time, because here's the thing. Most people, when it comes to certain things or certain people or certain issues, they already have their mind made up. So if they don't like you, they really don't like you. And that's not going to change. So, you taking to Twitter or Facebook or Tumblr or Blogger or whatever, I mean, more power to you. For somebody that does not like, 140 characters ain't enough for me to tell you off. And subsequently, I don't get into a whole bunch of stuff like that online. I just don't, because that's not my style. Because I feel like a lot of times when people, quote unquote, hate online, they say things online that they would never say to your face. So why should I trip? You can say what you want. As long as you're not threatening me or my family or my friends, hey man, you can be a thumb. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of thumb hustling with you, because the block or unfriend button always works. It just does. Or you can just ignore people. But yeah, man, it's gotten to the point where, especially when you talk about, different things that are, I don't even want to say controversial, because you could be talking about sports, and we all have our favorite sports teams. Now, I will say this much. Here's a caveat. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I grew up a New York Giants fan, so I always hated the Cowboys. I know some of my best friends are Cowboys fans. Hell, I'm married to a Cowboys fan. So the natural, ribbing, if you will, it's all in good fun. You would never catch me with a Cowboys shirt on or anything like that. I'd probably throw it on the ground and stomp on it. Throw it in the trash. But that being said, that's a different kind of hate. I'm not, I wouldn't try to do any physical harm to anybody that's a Cowboys fan. It's not, it's not that serious. So there, and then, when you have good ribbing between friends or snapping or whatever you want to call it, that's different. That's not hating. That's just having fun. And I think we all, I don't have to sit here and explain that to you. I think we all know the difference between hating and having fun. But outside of that, come on, man. Some people out there really got to let it go, man, because the level of discomfort, I don't even want to use the word hate, the level of discomfort is just funny. So, my advice for 2016, let go the hate, let go the word hate, let go the stop hating campaign. If you don't like something, just say, hey man, I don't like it. Or just say, hey, you don't like this. Don't say you hate that, because really and truly, we really don't hate. And I would like to see us kind of move back toward the principle of the word hate when it comes to what I kind of grew up with. That's a word you just don't use, because at the end of the day, you really don't hate anybody. I mean, like, think about it for a second. If you look up the word hate and you look at how it's defined, ask yourself, is it really possible for you to hate someone? I mean, outside of someone doing some type of bodily harm to you or your family, I mean, I really can't think of too many things that would make me actually hate somebody. And, it's that's just me. Now, some of us have our own issues about why we do or don't like certain people, or why we do or don't like certain things. But like I said, man, it's 2016. Let the hate go, man. Stop hating. Stop hating on the hate. Oh man, again, that's gonna do it for another 12 Kyle podcast. As I mentioned at the top, hit me up on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes. Got the Facebook page popping, facebook.com/12Kyle, spelled out TWELVEKYLE. So you can follow me on there. Got the blog. Like I said, man, I'm all over. Catch me in them streets. I'm gonna holler at you guys next time. Peace.